Good afternoon, everyone. I will uncomplicate this as much as I possibly can after last week. But this one is one of those subjects that pastors like, but parishioners don't want to hear too much about, because the words of the book are so clearly read here that you don't have to have a thesaurus or a dictionary to comprehend them. But in these days of the lie and gross double speak by the government, we should be most willing to hear the unadorned, unadulterated, simple word of Yahweh Elohim. But that's what I'm going to do today. Just, if you want a title, talking about the Proverbs. Talking about the Proverbs. And we'll start at Proverbs, the first chapter, first verse. The Proverbs of Solomon, son of David, king of Israel. To know wisdom and instructions, to understand words of insight, to receive instruction in wise dealing. That's a bad word in this country these days. Wise dealing. In righteousness, justice. There's a word we don't see too often. Equity. We point that word out whenever we see it in the Bible, because in the world we don't see it too much. It's a little bit different than the word the world always errantly places there. Equality. The proper word is equity. In a situation where equity obtains, everyone involved gets enough of whatever is doled out, whatever it is, to have more than enough to get through the day. Not just as the country gives you enough to get by. And sometimes you don't even get that. With equity, everyone will be happy. And have enough to get through. Just not get by. The world likes equality, though, for some reason, where everyone gets the same amount. And somehow it is never enough. And as a result, no one is happy. And they all attack each other to make up the planned shortfall. And while we are all fighting each other, they make plans behind our back to keep us at each other's throats, while they pretty much have a free hand to do whatever they want. But that's the way of the world. Verse 4, to give prudence to the simple, knowledge and discretion to the youth. Let the wise hear and increase in learning. and the one who understands obtain guidance. To understand a proverb and a saying, the words of the wise and their riddles. Verse 7. Note this. The fear of Yahweh Elohim is the beginning of knowledge. Fools despise wisdom and instruction. Hear, my son, your father's instructions, and forsake not your mother's teaching. Note the balance here. And in the world today, all of a sudden, hey, there's a mother and father there. There's something wrong. That's not wrong according to this book. And that's all I'm concerned with today. And anybody that doesn't like that, go somewhere else. Verse 9. For they are a graceful garland for your head and pendants for your neck. My son, if sinners entice you, do not consent. If they say, and you've heard this, come with us, let us lie in wait for blood. Let us ambush the innocent without reason. And they're doing that in a lot of ways that we don't see. Verse 12, like Sheol, let us swallow them alive and whole, like those who go down to the pit. We shall find all precious goods. We shall fill our houses with plunder. Throw in your lot among us. We will all have one purse. That sounds familiar. We will all have one purse. Who's going to be in charge of it, though? That's the thing. And they get them into the gangs every day with this strategy, though. And all kinds of gangs. Throw in your lot with us. We will all have one purse. Verse 15. My son, do not walk in the way with them. Hold back your foot from their paths, for their feet run to evil, and they make haste to shed blood. For in vain is a net spread in the sight of any bird. But these men lie in wait for their own blood. They set an ambush for their own lives. They don't know it at the time, but that's what they're doing. Verse 19. Such are the ways of everyone who is greedy for unjust gain. It takes away the life of its possessors. Wisdom cries aloud in the streets. In the market, she raises her voice. Notice this, ladies. Wisdom is in the voice of a woman. And those who say that the Bible is a backwards book. Wrong one to call backwards. The Bible was the first to left women in this society. That's one of the reasons so few like it. They don't say that, though. Verse 21. At the head of the noisy streets, she cries out. At the entrance of the street, of the city gates, she speaks. How long, O simple ones, will you love being simple? How long will scoffers delight in their scoffing? And fools hate knowledge. If you turn at my reproof, behold, I will pour out my spirit to you. I will make my words known to you. Because I have called and you refuse to listen. Have stretched out my hand and no one has heeded. Because you have ignored all my counsel and would have none of my reproof. I also will laugh at your calamity. I will mock when terror strikes you. When terror strikes you like a storm and your calamity comes like a whirlwind. When distress and anguish come upon you, then they will call upon me, but I will not answer. That's kind of cold-blooded. But then again, how long would you put up with this? How long would anyone in here put up with the kind of rebellion this world has puked up to the Father all these years? Then they will call upon me, but I will not answer. They will seek me diligently, but will not find me, because they hated knowledge and did not choose the fear of Yahweh Elohim, would have none of my counsel and despised all my reproof. Therefore they shall eat the fruit of their own way and have their fill of their own devices. For the simple are killed by their turning away, and the complacency of fools destroys them. But whoever listens to me will dwell secure and will be at ease without dread of disaster. Likewise, this verse seems to acknowledge that the way of the wise is a hard road. In its own way, it is. And if you travel it the right way, it is often traveled alone. Somebody said that to me when I first came into the church in 1986 or so. And I have found it very much that way. You often go alone in a room full of people. It means resisting the seduction of sin. Many can't do that. But those who are wise rest in the security of Yahweh Elohim. if they are firmly entrenched in his way and his word, they have no reason to fear the eternal disaster awaiting those who ignore Yahweh Elohim. And they are far more likely to experience joy, peace, and success in this mortal life. Proverbs, 3rd chapter, first verse again. My son, do not forget my teaching, but let your heart keep my commandments. That's something that's going to be very hard in the coming days. And that's something that we have to come back to within ourselves, the way we always had it this way. Not the first day of the week, the 7th. And there's a wave coming that says it's the first day. Resist that wave. Resist that wave at all costs. Resist that wave. Verse 2. For length of days and years of life and peace they will add to you. Let not steadfast love and faithfulness forsake you. Bind them around your neck. Write them on the tablet of your heart. In other words, let them really, truly be bound around your neck. And truly be as the tablets of Yahweh Elohim around your heart. Some of us do it in church or around our parents. But if we were to meet some of us on the streets without seeing our faces, we wouldn't know who they are. Verse 4. So you will find favor and good success in the sight of Yahweh Elohim and man. Trust in Yahweh Elohim with all your heart, and do not lean on your own understanding. So many do this, and the results are not good. Verse 6. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will make straight your paths. Be not wise in your own eyes. So many are. Fear Yahweh Elohim and turn away from evil. It'll be healing to your flesh and refreshment to your bones. Honor Yahweh Elohim with your wealth and with the first fruits of all your produce. Many skipped over this because it wasn't talking about money necessarily. They don't want to sell fruit. They want to prove money, especially these modern prosperity preachers. Verse 10. Then your barns will be filled with plenty, and your vats will be bursting with wine. Wine? You want to say grape juice, don't you? No, it says wine. No, it's only a sin if you overdo it. It's only a sin if you overdo it. And I said book, not off somebody's head, including mine. 11, my son, do not despise Yahweh's discipline or be weary of his reproof. For Yahweh Elohim reproves him whom he loves, as a father the son in whom he delights. And anytime you think you're being punished, look to that stake back there. And he had his son hung for you on that stake when you were deep in your sins. Deep in them. 13. Blessed is the one who finds wisdom and the one who gets understanding. For the gain from her is better than the gain from silver, and her profit better than gold. Notice again, ladies, that wisdom is here personified as a woman. The world doesn't see it that way, though. Somebody probably got mad when Sherry got up here to pray. Somebody somewhere. But a lot of places don't even do that. Continuing in 15. She is more precious than jewels, and nothing you desire can compare to her. Wisdom we're talking about here. Long life is in her right hand, and in her left hand are riches and honor. Her ways are ways of pleasantness, and all her paths are peace. Real peace, not what the world coughs up to us. And they're coughing all kinds of stuff up to us now. And soon we will hear, peace, peace, everywhere peace. And next, horse beats. And many aren't going to know what that is. Verse 18. She is a tree of life to those who lay hold on her. Those who hold her fast are called blessed. Yahweh Elohim, by wisdom, founded the earth. By understanding, he established the heavens. By his knowledge, the deeps broke open, and the dew and the clouds dropped down the dew. My son, do not lose sight of these. Keep sound wisdom and discretion, and they will be life for your soul and adornment for your neck. They will walk on your way securely. And your foot will not stumble. If you lie down, you will not be afraid. You ever go to sleep and lay there kind of afraid all night? I do sometimes. I pray and I fall asleep. But I figured out what mine was to a degree. The worst thing you can do is keep a television on in your bedroom. Sometimes you go to sleep and realize that something on that TV woke you from that sleep. You didn't even know what it was. If you lie down, you will not be afraid. When you lie down, your sleep will be sweet if you stay in this book. Do not be afraid of sudden terror or of the ruin of the wicked when it comes. For Yahweh Elohim will be your confidence and will keep your foot from being caught. Do not withhold good from those to whom it is due, when it is in your power to do it. Do not say to your neighbor, "Go and come again tomorrow, I will give it," when you have it with you now. Do not plan evil against your neighbor. I'm thinking about the government while I'm reading that. All these people, they didn't even, I don't even go there. You know what's happening. And some of us, it's happening too now. He's gonna get them for that. And I don't even want to talk about it now. It's coming up. Somehow I'll do it. But they'll cut you off now. They'll cut you off now. Cut you off there. Defame your name in public for telling the truth. Verse 29 again. The mind is divulging all kinds of things to me, but I can't say any of it because it's illegal to tell the truth in this country now. (29) again. Do not plan evil against your neighbor who dwells trustingly beside you. The mind is reeling up here. Do not contend with a man for no reason when he has done you no harm. Do not envy a man of violence, and do not choose any of his ways. For the devious person note this, is an abomination to Yahweh Elohim. That might be the reason there are no sharpshooters out there. They know this is going to come back on them. The revenge is his, not yours. But the upright are in his confidence. Yahweh's curse is on the house of the wicked, but he blesses the dwelling of the righteous. Toward the scorners he is scornful, but to the humble he gives favor. The wise will inherit honor, but fools get disgrace. And in these days of panic and chaos over the leadership of this world, I looked into the Proverbs for some biblical wisdom regarding the leadership in these unclear times. I found some. Doesn't do us much good, because the leadership is on a path they won't turn from. But they will be turned from it soon. Proverbs, the 28th chapter, the 2nd verse. Proverbs, the 28th chapter, the 2nd verse. When a land transgresses, it has many rulers, but with a man of understanding and knowledge, its stability will long continue. The opposite for one that doesn't. But with none on the horizon, we have to keep our heads in this Bible. And as I said earlier in Proverbs, the 3rd chapter, the 1st verse, my son, do not forget my teaching, but let your heart keep what? My commandments. This is the most important thing I can say here. Keep my commandments. Not the ones that the world will be trying to slip in on us that first day of the week. Someone said, follow your heart. But this is obviously someone that's not an avid reader of the Bible. Follow your heart is unwise counsel. Because our hearts deceive us, lie to us, and constantly change for no reason. Kind of like the government. This is true of unwise kings too. We must seek to follow Yahweh Elohim. And all of this is in this book somewhere. Jeremiah, the 17th chapter, the 9th verse. Jeremiah, the 17th chapter, the 9th verse. This is why you don't follow your heart. The heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. That's not wicked, desperately wicked. Who can know it? I, Yahweh Elohim, search the heart. I try the reins, even to give every man according to his ways. and according to the fruits of his doings. Second little pearl of wisdom I found there. Leadership positions must be used to help, not harm. Proverbs, the 28th chapter, the 3rd verse. A destitute leader who oppresses the poor is like a driving rain that leaves no food. Number 3. To whom a leader listens matters greatly. Proverbs, the 29th chapter, the 12th verse. If a ruler listens to lies, all his officials will be wicked. It doesn't say anything about party here. That's anybody. If a ruler listens to lies, all his officials will be wicked. If a leader listens to the wrong people, everyone suffers. The wrong people around that leader will also corrupt the culture of the team and the collective character of the leadership. And that's all I can say. The rest of it is pointing too much at certain people, and I don't want anybody coming after me yet. This is why we wait and cry for the return of our Messiah. Any questions? Comments? And the fact that that was part 1 doesn't necessarily mean a part 2 is coming next week, but I will get into Proverbs and Psalms and some stuff. I've seen some stuff in there that will clear some other things up as we go along. Again, any questions or comments?